Hey, Eagle Run 2-3. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to sharpen up this knife that we've been working on. This is one of the main kitchen knives that we have, and it's not high quality stainless china, but it's just one that it's really easy to sharpen, and there's probably a new kitchen knife in our future, but this guy has probably seen better days, but we've got it all shined up and looking really good. So um, I don't know. Maybe we'll have to keep her around. So one of the things I've been wanting to test, and I actually had a couple of comments about this, um, is about using one of these steels to sharpen a knife. Now I believe that's actually the wrong terminology for what this does, but let's just do a little test here. Now we know we can hop over on. I'm pointing, you can't see it, but I know I can hop over on the Tech Studios profile and put a beautiful edge on this, and that's probably what we'll do here in just a minute. But let's do a little before and after with the Butcher Steel here and see what it does. So we'll start off with a little baseline here for you. Can you see that? All right, that's beautiful. It won't actually bite if it. All right, so not a nice edge. You can see that it kind of crinkles the paper when it pulls through there, and it just isn't sharp. You can tell it by feeling it. You can tell by how it pulls through the paper. Not difficult to see there, but this knife is, you could do some kitchen prep with it. There's no damage in the blade, so it's usable sharp, but let's see if we can improve that, or if we can even tell that we can improve it. All right, so, man, there are lots of different things that I've heard about these over the years, and I will show you how I was taught by, I guess, my father on how to do this. Keep an angle here. I don't know that we're going to be able to be precise enough that it's worth even trying to think angle. The angle of this was sharpened. I'll have to check. I believe it's at 20. So we're shooting for about a 20. And we're going to do equal passes on each side. And I was taught just to go back and forth, right down like this. Now, I feel like this is a little slow, and plus I have to switch it in my hand each time. So what I prefer, and it might be a little bit difficult to show this, is to actually hold it up and down. And I'm gonna have to switch my camera. You guys can't see that. Okay, let's see if this is a little bit better. So I kind of hold it in the air. There is a little point on the end of this that you could, I guess, use to hold it still. But I like to go, and I'm not going to be able to do this because there's just not enough space. I like to go across like this and do it while I'm holding it in the air and run it by. I feel like I can do it quicker. But really, the point is that you're maintaining an angle and that you're honing that edge. Again, honing might be the wrong word. I've actually heard this called tining. I don't know. There's a lot of different. There's the knife sharpening. The more videos I post on here, the more I realize that there's a bunch of different ways to do stuff. And ultimately, if your knife is sharp, that's the only litmus test. If it's sharp and it works for you, then I guess that's the right way to do it. So I'm gonna, off camera here where I have a little bit more room, I'm gonna run this through just like what I'm showing you what I'm doing, but I'm gonna give myself a little bit more room and show you if it has any effect on the paper. All right, I ran it over several times, and it's what I would do, what I normally do in the kitchen in order to maintain, and that's really the point of this. This is not a sharpening steel. That's kind of the key thing. Don't call this a sharpening steel. This does not technically sharpen. We're gonna say that this does not technically sharpen. This is a blade maintaining device, and obviously they're effective and they work, and that's great. But that is not sharpening. It is maintaining, reconditioning, maybe even honing. Now, as I run my finger through there, I can feel that things are nice and smooth, and that's what I would do in my kitchen and go back to work with it. So let's see if it has any effect on the paper. Wow, definitely had an effect on the paper. I mean, there's no digs where, and I already threw that other piece away to compare. We are not a science channel. There's no like the other one was crinkled where it actually tore and like left crinkles in the paper. That one sliced right through there, nice and smooth. And you can actually see, it actually will bite that edge, whereas the other one was kind of like folding the paper over. So, man, definitely has an effect on the use. In fact, my wife sent this out to the garage and said, "Hey, it needs sharpened." So you can actually, and she will not do this, but I do it almost every time I use it, just because I know I use it not as frequently as she does, and so if I do it every time, be a little bit longer in between sharpening, but it definitely had an effect. That is really, really neat to see. All right. Myth busted? I don't know about that. Do you have one of these? Most people, they probably come in the butcher block and they probably never use it or don't know how to use it, but it's not difficult. Don't overthink it. For the most part, you cannot ruin anything. As long as you're keeping an angle and not going straight in or anything weird like that. But there's really nothing to it, and you can see the results were pretty effective. I think I'm going to run through this just over my stone real quick. There's a little spot right there I don't like, and I think that's probably the main spot that gets rocked on this, and I think this is most of the chopping happens. And there's a little spot right there I don't like, so I'm going to probably run a stone over this a few times just to kind of fix that, and we'll put this guy back to work. But all right, well, that's the end for this. Let me know if you have one of these, if you use them, if you like them, if you've heard any different words for them, what they should be called. Yeah, let me know. Thanks for watching.